We're going to run a trim piece around the edge of the tile.
Well, you're cutting the tile, but unfortunately, I can't cut the clock. 4 hours have passed, there's 4 to go, it's halftime. I gotta go now. On the blue side of the warehouse, Mark's getting crafty. He's tracing a line where the top piece for the microwave area meets the frame. Then he nails the pieces together along the line. After that, Dale uses a jigsaw to cut a hole to hold a new addition to their design, an umbrella. Of course, any coffee area needs shade.
I've cut some boards here to put in here for our drawers that are going in here to slide in and out. What it does is it gives strength to the top, strength to the sides, and it gives our drawer something to stop against.
Meanwhile, Bob's moved ahead with the storage lid and coffee counter. He's now laying the tile on thin-set mortar in the frame he constructed. A tiled lid is perfect for holding hot coffee mugs. Looks like our teams are incorporating coffee cups in different ways. While the red team's building everything in the shape of cups, the blue team's building something for enjoying a cup of coffee on the job. When we come back, we'll see which of these creative designs gets the attention of our judges.
What do you think?
Come join us in the warehouse. If you or any of your building buddies are interested in being warehouse warriors for a day, log on to our website at DIYnetwork.com, where you'll find an application to be on the show. Time is ticking away as our two teams of professional remodelers are hard at work on today's assignment, building something that incorporates coffee cups. The blue team came up with the idea of a toolbox for a job site that's also a coffee break station. The red team designed a mini cafe that looks like a coffee cup. Remember, we're giving them only 8 hours to build the projects they designed. Let's see how they're doing.
Okay, now, as you remember, Mike put a dado here, and that's going to slip over the stool. And we already put the laminate on, so we got a finish cover on our back of our stool. Now, I've already put the fabric on. We got a nice soft seat. Slips right in there. I'm going to hold it while Mike puts the screws in the back. We also made it so this has a slight angle, so it's not flat. So when you sit on this thing, you can lay back and really relax.
Next, Mike uses the radial elm saw to make a dado cut in the other seat back.
Okay, what we're doing now, we're trying to use the most durable products because this is going to be a cafe, and we want it cleanable and durable. So this right here is actually rubber. And it's already colored, so we don't have any painted items that we have to worry about scratching off. Got tile, we got laminate, and we got rubber on the outside. So we got something that's very, very durable and will last a long time.
I love to see Scott doing nice little dainty projects, like making skirts and...
You know, I have a sharp knife in my hand.
Oh, that's right. Okay, what are you doing? I'll get right to business.
Well, we thought since we're going to be sitting on the job site on this real nice, comfy coffee caddy.
And there's a lot of sitting on your job site.
By me. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to make a lap desk.
Oh, okay.
And what I've got is some foam here. Just went around the edge. I'm going to cut it out. Then I'm going to take the fabric and wrap the fabric around the foam. And that way the soft part sits on your lap and you've got room for a laptop, or you can write whatever on it.
What we've done is we're creating the backs to the back of our Adirondack chair onto our piece here, cabinet. So what we've done is we've taken one board and we're making 2 pieces out of it. So that when we cut it down the middle, we create 2 pieces which will be parts of the backs of our Adirondack chair onto our cabinet.
Mark, on top of being a great craftsman, you're also a very polite guy. Every time I've asked you a question today, you've called me sir. You don't have to call me sir. Call me Ed.
No, so we do that in Charleston. That's how we do it in Charleston. We have manners.
Manners? Well, you're a Southern gentleman, and I can't change that, I guess. But no, if you want to call me Ed, feel free.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Show me how this molding's working.
All right, so what we have here is a rope trim that we put on the piece of furniture itself. So we're going to carry it on through the cabinets. We got some 3/4 birch plywood for the cabinet. We're going to put the rope trim around, and we're going to put the handle in the middle.
Is there any reason you picked a basket weave on the handle?
No, sir, it makes it look more along the lines of the rope,
like a rope
theme that we're going with. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you work a lot with the rope, so
yes,
it's a real good accent. While we were chatting, Bob moved on and is using the power sander to smooth out the edges of the back pieces for the chairs. When building furniture, chances are you're going to be making joints. Let me show you some gadgets that make joint making a little bit easier. This first one is called a saddle square. Now, even though it's called a square, it's a real cool tool. Let me show you why. If you get a piece of wood, you can actually bring your mark right around that piece of wood perfectly. And the reason you need a perfect circumference around that wood is because if you're making a joint like this, which is a mortise and tenon joint, you want to get a perfect tenon. Let me show you. Because we use the saddle square, the tenon will slip into the mortise, making a perfect joint. Another joint, and it's a real easy one, is called a butt joint. And just like the name says, one piece of wood butts up against another. Now, the tricky part with this is trying to hold everything in place while you're screwing it. So this right here is called a corner clamp. This slides right into place, and check it out. It's like a third hand. It'll hold that joint in place while you're screwing it. These are just a few gadgets that make the job easier. For more information on tools and woodworking, check out the website at DIYnetwork.com. Back on the red side, their cafe is taking shape. Tad's now sponging off the grout from the tile countertop. Tad's done some amazing work today. Meanwhile, Scott's traced the outline of a cup handle for their table in 2 pieces of 1-inch plywood and is now using the jigsaw to follow the lines. Then...
What do you think?
The coffee. Oh my God, what do I think?
We got a handle on this or what?
Yes!
It's finally time for Mike to test out his stools.
And when you put my 220 pounds on it, if it don't break, it's right.
But there's still a lot of work to be done on the stools, and Sherry Ray knows it. So she grabs the tin snips and starts cutting copper in the shape of steam. They'll use it to decorate the seat backs. Hey, Big Bob, how you doing? Oh, man.
Thanks, Ed.
That's a builder from the old school. He's covered in dust. All right, Bob, let me get this straight. We have flat pieces of wood on a round surface, on an angle, on another flat piece of wood. Bob, how you going to get all this to fit?
That's a good question. You'll see down here we're sanding all the backs off to try and get it to fit together.
Okay.
The reason we want the curve,
Yeah.
we need the curve up here so it feels good against your back when you're laying on it. But then at the bottom we need it straight so we can get the hinges mounted to it.
So you know what you want, but the process of doing it, gets a little tricky. There's an old saying, trial and error.
Trial and error, figure it out as we go.
Well, there's another saying, you can fail your way to success. Sooner or later, you make enough wrong cuts, they got to end up right.
There you go.
But it does take time. You remember, the clock is always running.
Come on, guys, let's get going.
Meanwhile, Mark's now screwing slides onto the sides of the tool storage drawers.
All right, I'm putting together the seat cushions for our coffee caddy. It's real easy to do. I took a piece of 1/2-inch plywood, added some foam, got some fabric. You just have to pull it over